What happens when a country music star steps onto one of daytime? TV's most volatile stages and decides he's not there to play nice. What you're about to see is a conversation that unraveled so fast, so completely, that it ended with one of the most jaw-dropping exits The View has ever seen. This is how Jelly Roll's appearance turned into a confrontation. Nobody on stage or at home saw coming. Before we get into it, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment about what you think went down. Now, let's dive in. The studio lights blazed as Jelly Roll sank into the guest chair. Tattooed forearms visible under rolled-up sleeves. The audience applauded. Whoopi Goldberg introduced him with her usual warmth. The panel smiled everyone except Joy Behar, whose energy was unmistakably colder. So, Jelly Roll, Joy began, leaning forward, cards in hand. You've become this huge star, singing about redemption and second chances. But I have to ask, do you think someone with your past, with a criminal record, should really be lecturing people about how to live? The room froze. Sunny shifted uneasily. Jelly Roll nodded slowly, absorbing the hit. Well, Joy, I appreciate the question, he said evenly, because that's exactly why my message connects. I'm not lecturing anyone. I'm sharing my story so maybe someone out there doesn't repeat my mistakes. Joy dismissed him with a flick of her hand. But you profited from it, didn't you? Turned your mistakes into millions. Some people would call that exploitation. Exploitation. Jelly Roll raised his brows. Joy, I spent years in jail. I lost time with my family. I hurt people I loved. The music came from pain, not a marketing plan. Right, Joy said sharply. And now you're selling out arenas and making more money than most people see in a lifetime. When does the redemption story stop being healing and start being a brand? Whoopi tried to intervene. Joy, I think what he's no. Let him answer, Joy snapped. I want to hear him justify it. Jelly Roll inhaled deeply, the muscles in his jaw tightening. Justify what? That I turned my life around. That I'm trying to reach people who were where I was. I honestly don't know what you want from me. I want honesty, Joy shot back. I want you to admit this whole reformed bad boy persona is an act. You saw an angle. You took it. The air thickened. Sarah stared at her notes. Alyssa glanced nervously between them. Jelly Roll's voice stayed calm, but there was steel in it now. My daughter knows her dad was in prison. My wife stayed with me when I had nothing. Those aren't angles, Joy. Those are real people. Real consequences. Oh, please, Joy scoffed. Everyone in Hollywood has a sob story. What makes yours so special? I never said it was special, he replied, his drawl deepening. I said it was real. And if you can't tell the difference between someone trying to make a genuine difference and someone selling snake oil, maybe you've been in this business too long. The audience gasped. Whoopi's eyes widened. Joy's face went crimson. Excuse me? Joy's voice shot up. Did you just suggest I don't know what I'm doing? I'm saying you're so focused on catching me in a gotcha that you're missing the entire point, he said, leaning in. I'm not here to be perfect. I'm here to be honest. Honest. Joy laughed bitterly. Let's talk about honesty. You've built a career on being the poster child for second chances, while millions with records can't even get a job at McDonald's. Where's their redemption arc? That's exactly what I'm fighting for. Jelly Roll fired back, his voice rising for the first time. I use my platform to talk about criminal justice reform, to push for real opportunities. What are you doing besides judging me from this table? Silence. Joy blinked, thrown off balance. Sunny tried to speak, but Joy held up a hand. You don't get to come on this show and tell me what I do or don't do, Joy said, her voice shaking. I've been fighting for social justice since before you were born. Then why attack someone who's on the same side? Jelly Roll asked, softer but unshaking. What's this really about? Joy? For a split second, something vulnerable crossed her expression, then it vanished behind defiance. This is about accountability, she said. About not letting people coast on a good story when they haven't truly earned it. And who decides when someone's earned it? He asked quietly. Because from where I'm sitting, it feels like no matter what I do, no matter how many lives I try to help, there will always be someone like you telling me I'm not good enough. Joy sprang to her feet, the chair screeching against the studio floor. Someone like me, she shouted. What is that supposed to mean? The other hosts exchanged panicked glances. This was spiraling out of control. Jelly Roll stayed seated, hands folded calmly as Joy loomed over the table. The cameras rolled relentlessly, capturing every crackling second of the unraveling confrontation. Someone like you, Jelly Roll said, measured but firm. Someone so focused on tearing people down that they can't see when someone's genuinely trying to build something positive. That's what I mean. Joy's hands trembled. I've spent decades on this show holding people accountable, decades. I'm not stopping just because some country singer strolls in here with a guitar and a tear-jerking backstory thinking he's untouchable. Nobody said I'm untouchable, Jelly Roll countered calmly. But there's a difference between accountability and cruelty. Right now, you're crossing that line. Whoopi finally intervened, her voice steady and authoritative. Okay, let's take a breath. Here things are getting heated. No, Joy snapped, still standing. I'm tired of taking breaths. I'm tired of pretending that every person who shows up here with a reformed image deserves a pat on the back. You want to know why I'm pushing you? Because I've seen this 1,000 times. People mess up, they get famous, they tell their story, and suddenly they're heroes. Meanwhile, regular people? They don't get that luxury. You think I don't know that? Jelly Roll's voice rose, sharp now. You think I don't carry that with me every single day? I know how lucky I am. I know my skin color, my gender, my talent, all of it played into why I got chances others don't. I talk about that constantly. Joy leaned in, challenging him. Or do you just mention it in passing while cashing your checks and moving on to the next arena? Alyssa Farah Griffin finally spoke up. Joy, I think that's unfair. He's literally testified before Congress about prison reform. He's put his money where his mouth is. Stay out of this, Alyssa, Joy shot back, eyes locked on Jelly Roll. The audience murmured uneasily. This wasn't playful banter anymore. It was a full-blown clash. Jelly Roll stood slowly, matching her intensity. You know what, Joy? I came here expecting a real conversation. I came with respect for you and this show. But all you've done since I sat down is try to make me feel small. I'm not going to let you do that. Oh, so now you're the victim. Joy laughed harshly. That's rich. You can dish it out, but you can't take it. I can take criticism, Jelly Roll said firmly. What I won't take is someone questioning my intentions without knowing a damn thing about me. You've decided who I am based on what, a 5-minute segment? Some headlines? I've done my research, Joy insisted. Then your research is incomplete, he shot back. Because if you truly knew my story, if you understood what I've been through and what I'm trying to do, you wouldn't be standing here acting like I'm some con artist. Joy's face flushed crimson, her breathing shallow. You want to talk about what you've been through? Fine. Let's talk about the people you hurt. The victims of your crimes. Where's their moment in the spotlight? Where's their redemption tour? The words hung like venom in the air. Jelly Roll's expression shifted, something fragile breaking behind his eyes. You don't think I think about them? His voice cracked. You don't think I carry that guilt every single day? I can't undo what I did, Joy. I can't go back and change it. All I can do is try to be better and help other people avoid the same mistakes. If that's not enough, I don't know what else to tell you. Sarah End reached for Joy, but she swatted the hand away. Don't. I'm making a point here. What point? Sunny Hostin interjected sharply. That redemption isn't real, that people can't change. Because if that's your point, what's the purpose of any of this? Criminal justice reform, rehabilitation, what's the point? Joy turned to her, voice fierce. The point, Sunny, is that we shouldn't be celebrating people just because they stopped doing bad things. That's the bare minimum, Jelly Roll said quietly. Nobody's asking you to celebrate me. I'm just asking you to see me as a human being who's trying. That's it. Joy turned back to him, and for a fleeting moment, the fury on her face softened, but only briefly. You want me to see you as human, she said, shaking her head. Then stop hiding behind your music, behind your story. Stop using your past as a shield from real criticism. I'm not hiding behind anything, Jelly Roll replied, voice steady. I'm sitting here answering your questions, taking your shots. What more do you want from me? I want you to admit you're not special, Joy said, her voice cracking. I want you to admit the only reason anyone cares about your redemption is because you got lucky. Talent, opportunity, the system working for you in ways it doesn't for everyone else. I've said that, Jelly Roll said, frustration creeping in. 100 times, maybe more. I don't know how many different ways I can say it before you actually hear me. Maybe I don't want to hear you, Joy said bluntly, the raw honesty stopping everyone in their tracks. Maybe I'm tired of hearing stories about the few who make it out when so many don't. Maybe I'm tired of exceptions being treated like the rule. The silence was deafening. Whoopi's eyes searched Joy, worried. The other hosts exchanged uneasy glances. This was never about me, Jelly Roll said softly. It's about something else entirely. Joy's eyes welled, but her jaw remained set. Don't psychoanalyze me, she whispered. I'm not, he said gently. I'm just saying, if you're this angry, this hurt over my story, maybe there's something deeper going on, something that has nothing to do with me. You don't know me, Joy whispered. You're right, Jelly Roll agreed. I don't, just like you don't really know me. Maybe we should stop pretending we do. For a long moment, Joy stared at him. Then something cracked. She wiped at her eyes quickly, trying to hold it together, but the fissures were visible. The studio was silent. The audience held its breath. You want to know what this is really about? Joy said, voice shaking. It's about watching people fail every day. Seeing the system crush the people who deserve better. And then someone like you comes along, and suddenly it's a miracle proof the system works. It doesn't. You're the exception, not the rule. Pretending otherwise is dangerous. Jelly Roll's expression softened. I never said I was the rule, Joy. I never said the system works. I've spent years saying the opposite. I got lucky. The system is broken. It needs to change. We're on the same side. Then why does it feel like we're not? She asked, vulnerability cutting through her anger. Because you're not listening, he said gently. You're so focused on what you think I represent that you're missing what I'm actually saying. Joy shook her head, tears streaming now. I can't do this anymore. Whoopi reached for her. Hey, it's okay. We can take a no, Joy said firmly, pulling away. She looked at her co-hosts, at the cameras, at Jelly Roll. I can't do this anymore. Any of it. Sarah's eyes widened. Joy, what are you saying? I'm done, Joy said, her voice stronger despite the tears. Done with conversations that go nowhere. Done pretending debates change anything. Done watching people suffer while we sit here talking about it like it's entertainment. Joy, please, Sunny said, standing now too. Let's just take a moment. I've taken enough moments, Joy interrupted. She turned to Jelly Roll. You want to know why I went after you? Because you make it look easy. Redemption looks like something anyone can achieve if they try hard enough. It's a lie. A beautiful lie, but a lie. Jelly Roll nodded slowly. You're right. It's not easy. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. And not everyone gets the chance. That's exactly why I'm trying to change things. To use whatever platform I have to help create opportunities for those who don't get them. And I believe you, Joy said, her voice softening, surprising everyone. But believing you and believing in the system, that's different. I can't pretend one person's success story matters when millions fail. Then don't pretend, Jelly Roll said. Fight for them. Use your voice, your platform. That's what you've always done. That's why people respect you. Joy laughed bitterly. Respect me. Did you just hear yourself call me out on national TV? I called out your approach, not you as a person, he clarified. Is there a difference? She asked. Feels the same right now. Alyssa spoke gently. Joy, we all get frustrated. We all have moments when this job feels impossible. But walking away mid-show, that's not you. Maybe it should be, Joy said. Maybe walking away is exactly what I need to do. Whoopi's voice was firm. Joy, you're upset. We all are. This got heated. That's okay, but let's not make decisions we can't take back. Joy looked at Whoopi, really looked at her. Something unspoken passed between them, years of friendship. Battles fought side by side, and trust stretched to its limits. I'm not making a rash decision, Joy said quietly. I've been thinking about this for a while. This just crystallized it for me. The audience was silent, some with hands over their mouths, caught in the shock of the moment. Jelly Roll spoke softly. Joy, if I contributed to this, if anything I said pushed you her, I'm sorry. That was never my intention. Joy turned to him, and for the first time since he sat down, she really looked at him not as an adversary, not as a symbol, but as a person. It's not your fault, she said. You actually gave me clarity. You reminded me that I've been doing this so long, I forgot why I started. I forgot that the point isn't tearing people down. It's building something better. Then stay and build it, Sunny urged. Stay and keep fighting. Joy shook her head. I think I've been fighting so long that I don't know how to do anything else. And that's not healthy. Not for me, not for you all, not for the viewers at home watching this mess unfold. Joy, you're part of this family, Sarah said, voice thick with emotion. We need you here. I'll be fine without me, Joy said, managing a small smile. You're all brilliant. You don't need me to make this show work. Jelly Roll cleared his throat. For what it's worth, I think the show would be worse without you. You pushed me today. You challenged me in ways most interviewers don't. That's valuable even if it was uncomfortable. Joy looked at him, surprised. Are you seriously trying to convince me to stay right now? I'm just being honest, he said, shrugging slightly. You want people to be accountable. You want people to be better. Someone has to hold their feet to the fire. That's what you do. That's what you've always done. And it's exhausting. Joy admitted, though her voice carried less conviction now. Of course it is, Jelly Roll agreed. Asking the hard questions always is. Doesn't make it any less important. Whoopi seized the moment. He's right, Joy, you're tired. Frustrated, this conversation got out of hand. But don't let one bad interview undo decades of incredible work. Joy closed her eyes and took a deep breath. When she opened them, she looked straight at the camera. I appreciate all of you, she said. I appreciate that you watch that you engage, that you care about these conversations. But I need to be honest with myself and with you. I don't know if I can keep doing this the way it needs to be done. She turned to her co-hosts. I need time to think. Time to figure out what I actually want, what I can actually contribute that matters. Take the time, Whoopi said immediately. Take all the time you need. Your chair will be here waiting for you. Joy nodded, tears still streaking her face. She looked at Jelly Roll one last time. I'm sorry She began, but paused. I'm sorry I got defensive, he said. We both could have handled this better. Yeah. We could have, she said, managing a genuine smile. She took off her microphone, set it on the table, and without another word, walked off the set. The cameras followed until she disappeared through the studio doors. The remaining hosts sat in stunned silence. Whoopi finally turned to the camera, her voice thick with emotion. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. But as the cameras cut away and the studio erupted into chaos, everyone knew nothing would ever be the same. A line had been crossed. Words had been spoken that couldn't be unsaid. And one of daytime television's most iconic personalities had just walked away from it all. Jelly Roll sat in the guest chair, head in his hands, processing everything. He had come to promote his music, to talk about his journey, to maybe inspire a few people. He never expected to become part of a moment that would go down in television history. So, what do you think? Was Joy right to walk away? Did Jelly Roll cross a line? Drop a comment below with your thoughts and make sure you subscribe, because this is just the beginning of the fallout from this unforgettable moment. What would you do if you were in Joy's position?